Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Don't mind how I look right now. We got the bedhead hair. We looking pale. We're not really looking like we are full of life right now, but that is okay. Today we're going to be doing a get ready with me while I explain why I didn't go to college after high school. So let's get into it. Where do I start? So college, it's always been the dream, it's always been the goal, it's always been the plan ever since I entered the educational institution of high school. I feel like we're always watching, lots of media where the only thing to do after you graduate high school is to go to college. There really seems to be no alternative that comes to mind through the media, like of watching the shows, the movies, reading the books where all the main characters are going to Harvard, Princeton, Yale. And side note, why is it that every single character, we are viewing is able to get into these schools? It sets really unrealistic expectations, I feel like, because getting into Harvard and Yale and Juilliard, wherever, that's not an easy feat. And we're watching these shows that portray it as easy when they have so many other factors of their life going on. So overall, the fact of the matter is, when I entered school, it's an educational institution, and of course they want you to continue your education. So college was the only goal and my only plan that I had ever had. Like, the only thing I knew, the only right thing I knew to do was to go to college after graduating high school. It goes to the extent that, college is so fully implemented in your high school career, and even when we were in elementary school, that they would have like t-shirts that they gave out to everyone that said college is not a dream, it is a plan. And I just vividly remember everyone would wear these. We wear them to school, we wear them to bed, the shirts were everywhere. And as an educational institution, it is their right to want to push education even further. However, although they push going to college, I felt like we lacked a lot of the resources and knowledge of finances that going to college would take and would amount to. It's just kind of like we blindly go into applying because we know that we're supposed to take this next step to going to college, but we don't take into account the other factors of how much, financial debt we're going to be in, the big transition that this actually is. So senior year, I'm still planning to go to college. Okay, and this year that I was graduating will definitely be an indication of my age, but that is okay. It was spring, and spring break was coming up. It was the week that we were all starting to apply to scholarships, applying to FAFSA, and that's when I realized that when I tried to apply to FAFSA, I didn't qualify for anything. I think at that time, due to my family's finances, I only qualified for a $500 loan. So I'm gonna have to pay with my own path to college, which is okay. We're gonna seek out other scholarships. And the thing is, when you apply for FAFSA, they expect an estimated family contribution. However, my family believes that you should pave the way to your dreams. And I'm good with that. There wasn't gonna be any family contribution to college. It's me, myself, and I'm okay with that. So the thing with scholarships is that most of them were local scholarships, and I wanted to go to a school out of state because I felt so isolated where I was at. I didn't want to be in the state any longer. I wanted to go, I wanted to explore, get out, have a different college experience away from home. So scholarships at that point were looking slim, and then I was really starting to think, okay, finances, how are we going to do this? So at that time, my thought was okay, just gotta focus on scholarships. I'm not gonna qualify for any financial aid at this time. And on the contrary, I actually won't qualify for financial aid until I'm 24. Unless I have a kid, I'm a ward of the state, I get married, or if I'm active in the service. Those are the only qualifications, because FAFSA doesn't qualify you as an independent until you're 24 years of age. But that's okay, we're seeking out other resources. So back to senior year. It's the middle of the day, and my class and I are all in the counseling office applying to scholarships. And then we get an announcement over the intercom, and we are all let go to go home early because they said spring break has gone into effect earlier than anticipated due to the global pandemic. And little do we know that would be our last day of high school forever. We went on spring break permanently. So fast forward, it's the summer. Our last year of high school ended on an abrupt note. But fast forward, and my boyfriend and I were able to get accepted into a college that was out of state. However, due to the coronavirus, classes were going to be online for the duration of the year until they were able to foresee that this was coming to a close. I'm like, I do not want to pay $17,000 to do online classes for a semester for a year. So for me, online classes, I know they just would not work. I have to be in the teaching environment to be able to focus, to be able to learn, to absorb the information. Learning on a computer does not assist me in any way. It's very, very difficult for me. And then I would still feel isolated, feeling like I'm not even progressing because I'm still at my home base. So that was the conflicting part, is that we could do our courses online, at home in our home state. However, if they were to resume routine in-person lectures, we would actually have to find those arrangements pretty quickly. So at that point, I was going through a range of emotions. I always stuck to the plan, every single detail. The most fearful thing for me was that this was my only plan that I ever had after high school, was going to college. There was nothing else for me. I couldn't think of anything. It was plan A all the way. And I think that's really what, COVID taught me through all the changes and all the things that we had to go through. I am flexible, and I've never really been flexible. Of course, I still like routine, and if I have a day planned out, I want it planned out a certain way. But I realized after my plan kind of went to pieces that I'm okay to have plans A through Z, 1 through 3, okay, so plan A didn't work out. What's plan B? I feel like I'm more comfortable going to the next step than I was before. Before, I was like, this was my only plan and I have no idea what to do next. However, I think going through, the global pandemic that we all did, we had to adjust and adapt very, very quickly in alternative situations and kind of figure out how to go about life again. So we decided to take a gap year. We actually ended up moving out of state. It was like the best experience of my entire life. And it made me realize that I didn't really have the life experience that I needed to really grasp and understand, the burdens, the responsibilities of going to college, whether it's financial burdens, stress burdens, moving away from home, trying to get a job full time while trying to go to college, all these factors that would have gone into it. School, I did not like it at all. I wasn't a fan of the teachers, and I tried to get out every single day I could. So the fact that college was my absolute dream, because I thought it would be such this different atmosphere, and it probably would be, knowing that when you go to college, most of the time you want to be there. We're in high school, it's a wonderful privilege, but you don't really recognize it, but it's the law to go. To me, I thought the only option was to go to college after high school. I didn't realize really that there could be other pathways, and that sounds really naive, but it's imprinted and tattooed in our brains that high school, college, that's the line, that's how it works. And school made it really clear that if you didn't go to college and pursue a degree, that you wouldn't have job opportunities. And I think that's what made us very, very fearful. There was a sign in our classroom and it read, "Do you want fries with that?" And then it said something like, "Say that 27 times in a row." And it was a depiction of what life would be like if we didn't go to college. Just the whole thing kind of upsets me now looking back on it. It's just stating that our high school diploma isn't really gonna get us far at all. If anything, it's gonna have us working at a local fast food joint, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing negative about that. It's all stereotypical values and views and everything along the lines of that. So once I moved out after graduating, I was able to relocate, and in that time I had to look for job opportunities available. And I was kind of like, wow, there are so many options. I didn't even think that these options would be available to me if I didn't have a college degree. But that wasn't the truth. There were so many available job openings, and I applied to one, and it became a career opportunity that I do now want to pursue with a degree, but it's something I would have never considered if I didn't get to try it out first. And I think that's another thing. It's the stigma is we go to college to pursue something that we potentially want to do for the rest of our lives, but sometimes we actually never even get a shot at trying it out to see if it really is something that we want. So after pursuing that job opportunity, I'm in the position now that yes, I do want to go to college. Yes, I do want to pursue a degree. But I feel like I have more common sense in a way, because I feel like I was naive without putting in all these other factors and incorporating it with real life experience. A degree is not everything to me, and I've definitely learned that since graduating. I think you should pursue you, but with societal expectations and pressures that you put on yourself and that you have externally from family, from the community, you think that pursuing college is the only way that can make you feel like you're a success or that you're contributing to the world, when a matter of the fact is that your existence is contributing to the world and you deserve to define success in your own way. I think a white belt would really pull the outfit together, but we have to work with what we have. I was very grateful to have a family that was supportive with any path that I wanted to pursue, but I'm rooting for you if you're watching this and you feel like you're in a crossroads. But just know it is possible to pursue the dreams that you have or the visions that you have, whether it's financial stability, whether it's starting your own business, whether it's writing a book, whether it's traveling the world, and you could be a millionaire without even having to go to college. So whether you're pursuing college and you're gaining the knowledge and education you need to broaden your horizons to create the dream life that you want, that is absolutely amazing, and I hope to be a part of that experience in the future someday as well. However, if you don't want to pursue college, or you're not really sure because it's always been the social norm, go out and experience life a little bit. See what it's like and see what you actually want. You don't have to go to college to be successful. It's all a matter of perspective, and yes, you can be successful going to college and not going to college, but it's your individual vision and your individual dream that shapes what the next steps will be and how you'll get there. Whatever situation you're in, I believe in you. I hope the best for you. Anyways, thanks for listening to me talk. I'll leave you guys with that, and I'll see y'all next time for another video. Bye.